Hey, yeah, what's up? This is Cyber Marcello Occurrence. Rain back up in this. Anti-Illuminati all day, anti-telepathy all day, and everybody else with it. Yeah, so this message is going to be about Americans or America not taking care of white supremacy. America not taking care of white supremacy. America is not taking care of white supremacy. Okay, so look at it for what it is, man. There's white militias all over the country. Proud Boys, all these different other militias that showed up in these protests in Washington, D.C. It shows us how many actual white militias with white philosophy is out there. White racist philosophies or in perspectives that are racist. So it's a problem that America, they all they gonna tell you, oh, we putting them on a hit FBI most wanted list and everything like that, right? But they're not investigating them. How much you want to put on it? They're not aggressively seeking out white militias and white supremacy groups that are armed with assault rifles. They're not looking them up. They're not on them. But they're on people that's unarmed. They're shooting unarmed people. But they're not looking at these people that are in the woods somewhere, waiting for a perfect timing to attack. See, this is what they're not telling you. What these people intend to do in the future going forward. They're not expressing that. They're not trying to seek that out. They're not going to just sit there forever. White supremacists, armed as militias, are not going to sit forever. You've all gotten comfortable with them just being relaxed against the community of America. You can't say, and I ain't even mentioned the neo-Nazis, the skinheads. You don't know what they got planned going forward. Things have changed in our country. We got COVID. People are coming out of the woodworks. The funkiest people are coming out of the woodworks. You don't know what they got planned and what they have going on. I'm telling you. You know, and your government does not have it it is not prioritized properly. These are white militias that you have no idea about. We don't know what they're doing. We don't know what they're planning. But yet they're investigating somebody like me. You know what I'm saying? They investigating somebody like me. Between investigating these white militias that are armed and ready to go. That's what I'm telling you. This is the double standard in America. Why don't they go investigate these white supremacist groups? They're out there. They are out there. They're not. See, what you have to understand, because America has only showed you these bits and pieces, you are totally unaware of the whole militia, white supremacist community in America. You are totally unaware of it. It's not in your culture. Obviously, you don't want it in your culture. That's perfect for them. It's not sought out by authorities. other races. Black people don't seek out information on them. You notice that? All these black Zionists. You ain't talking about these white militia groups. Maybe you're scared. I don't know. Maybe you're scared. But you're talking about everything else, but you're not talking about white militias. You're not educating people on them. That's why I have little respect for Americans. I have little respect because no one is seeking out the real enemies, the real opposition. It's one thing for America to having a legitimate enemy that you have opposed first, and they now are opposing you. Like me, you opposed me first. I don't care who you are. I don't care who you are. If you opposed me, I think like Malcolm X concerning that. I have the right to fight you. You hit me, I have the right to hit you back. You fight me, I have the right to fight you back. I have the right to defend myself after you have attacked me, and everyone knows that you have. I don't care what labels you put on it. I see it as a joint American effort based on what I've watched, the pattern. Okay? So I'm a legitimate enemy. You attacked me first, and now you want to put the spotlight on me like, look at him, y'all. Look how he hates America. That's just like a cornball, ain't it? But a smart person is gonna say, why? Why does he have these feelings towards America? He couldn't have always been like this. So what happened? What happened was they attacked me first, and I attacked back. That's what happened. End of story. You know, but they don't seek out those who really oppose them and have organized groups, militias, assault rifles. They have it all going on in white. And you know why? You know why they ain't worried about it? You know why? Because they're white. They have the right to bear arms. But they watching everybody that's black, they have the right to bear arms. That part. Oh, yeah. Yeah, they do. Anytime black people start getting arms or any militia, look at the news. Look at the news. Look how they put big spotlights on black militias. Yeah. I think it's the one that's called NFAC. And hold on. It's NFG something. NF something. If you look up black militia, NFG, something like that. I think that's one. But they are but that particular one, they are targeting them. You know what I'm saying? And the person is the leader is right on. He gives praises to God, and he's a good person. From what I see, he has good intentions. But see, they like to oppose. They are in fear of the black man being educated in educating others, because they know that education is not beneficial for them as a country. It's not beneficial for the black man to be educated, because the education and the history is against Americans' interests. Because from the black man's perspective, when he's educated, he understands that he has been the enemy for no reason. He has been harmed for no reason. He wakes up as a man, now fully of age, and he realized that he has been hated by this country that he's been working in. That's why they try to get you before you get like 30-something, in your late 30s, in your mid-30s, in your 40s. They try to eliminate you because a light bulb goes off that says, I'm a human being just like they are. How do they got rights and that I don't have? They try to control you with money and and act like you gotta have this money. You gotta, you gotta put what's most important first. You need this money. You don't need to be talking about what's going on in America. You need this money. That's how they do you. That's how they get you. But you have to stop putting money first and take the blinders off. Excuse me. Take the blinders off. When you take the blinders off of money, then you realize how trapped you are and that it's not going to get any better for you. People are still being killed. You're just waiting for it to come to your family. That's all you're waiting on. You're only waiting for America to harm your family. That's what you're waiting for. Take it for how it is, the history, how it is. It's one by one, family by family, important people by important people. One by one, they if you look at them, they always attacking somebody that's talking about something. They always got something terribly wrong. Even in my situation, there's always something terribly wrong when it comes to a black person talking and standing up and talking. Then there's always something real negative and harsh around their life. Explain that. Nah, because what I'm looking at is the nature of the person. That's what I'm looking at. I'm going to look at the nature of the person. I'm going to look at what they're really talking about. I'm going to look at it over and over again. And I'm going to realize that this person is really about this life. This person is really about this life. They're messing with this person because this person really spreads information and knowledge that is detrimental to the American perspective. There's always something happening to them. That's a sign to me that they are the truth. Something happened to them. Somebody trying to assassinate their character. Somebody trying to compromise their health. It's always something when it comes to the black leaders in this country. It's always something. So you're just waiting, Black America, for it to affect your family. And eventually it will. It might take 10 years. It may take 20. Eventually they'll get to you. Just like the government. Just like waiting in line for a government program. Eventually they'll get to you. Okay? It may take 5 years, but the government's going to get to you. Just like a government program. They're going to get to you. And it's going to be too late. Now you're going to be sitting up talking like I'm talking. We should be doing something. It takes for you to lose somebody in your family for you to become an activist. It takes black people and Americans, they have to lose loss. They have to lose life. There has to be loss of life in their community. They have to have loss, and then now they're on your bandwagon. Now they want to do something about it. Why could you not become a part of the resistance before something happened to your family? You know what I mean? Why does it have to be something detrimental happen to you before you get started? Because I'm gonna tell you something. There's no way somebody can tell me that the black man, when he educates himself on this community, on the history of this country, on the history of the world, that he's going to be a patriot of America. After he's gathered all the information, he don't have to be racist or nothing. If he gathers all the raw facts of history, informations, and if he cares about his life, if he just doesn't reduce his mentality and perspective of himself as a cattle that does not care about his life, if he decides to stand up for his life, there's no way that he can be standing up for his life with information in his mind of what really happened and be a patriot of America. It just can't happen. It just can't be. He will have to decide to be a person that's in a position waiting for justice, waiting for change. That's what happens. As soon as you get educated, now your next step is you realize change has to happen. So that's where we at. That's where we at. You know what I'm saying? And people like to idolize leaders that stand up for change. And you know, but you never take courage to be like them. And that's why I don't take anything off of these guys in the country, whoever they are that's supposed to be your leaders. They have remained passive and docile towards the American government. Okay? You have remained docile, just like women, and no disrespect to females, but you have been submitted like a docile female to your American government. All these rebels that's here, if this was another country, a resistance and a rebellion would have already happened. All these people saying they're gangsters and thugs, but there's never been a true rebellion against the American government. I'm not saying nothing wrong to you. There has to be a resistance. There has to be a threat in order for, unfortunately, Americans to change. You know, they have to see a threat. These people are almost going to negotiate with the Taliban. How are you going to let them make you feel like a terrorist when the American government, even Donald Trump's administration, even with his administration, they all were both going to negotiate with the Taliban? But they won't but they're not willing to negotiate with the African American community. They're not willing to do that. And they pose a threat. They have all type of weapons. And they don't put them on this list that they have to do something about them. And ASAP, it's ASAP concerning that. They willing to negotiate. So why can't we be up in arms and pose a threat just like the Taliban when we deserve to have rights in this country that have not been given to us? You see where I'm going with this? They're willing to negotiate with the Taliban. People that are armed with weapons and everything. But they will not negotiate with the black community. They will not tolerate the black community standing up with arms and weapons, making demands to the government, which is justifiable. So, with all the gangsters out here, all they've been doing is exercising their gangsterisms against their own community. That's crazy to me. And some people never wake up concerning that. So, the American government has allowed white militias to exist. This is what really gets under my skin. You see where I'm going with this? They allow white militias to exist in their country. And me and you both know if black militias or any other race had a militia in this country, it would be the FBI would know everything they ate for breakfast. They would be so far up your butt, they would know what you had for breakfast. That's why I'm trying to show you stuff you're not paying attention to. Stuff that because when real wars break out, you can't be like, oh, wait, but this is not fair. You can't say none of that. You can't say none of that, man. You can't say, well, wait, hold up. Give us 2 more years, 3 more years. You can't say none of that. Oh, I didn't think it was going to happen now. No, you can't say none of that. War is not going to be considerate of your unreadiness. War is not going to consider that you are not ready. War does not care and discriminate about your readiness. You're either ready or you're not. You know what I mean? And I know a lot of people have been talking this way for a long time, but now we're starting to see the generations that are going to see this come to pass. These clashes with Donald Trump having these racist people, if they get in office again, man, we might be looking at a race war. I'm just keeping it 100, man. Because those Trump supporters are not, they are showing no signs of slowing up. They are showing no signs of going anywhere. They're not showing any signs of that. You see what the problem is in America? You're only concerned about your particular walk of life, and you're not looking at everything that's around you. You're not looking at the white militias that is in the woods, shooting their guns, shooting their assault rifles, shooting their AK-47s and their SKSs, shooting all their guns, their 12 gauges, and all of that. You are unaware of that. Because you're just focused on the work. You're focused on the rat race. You're focused on the rat race like they got you. You know what I'm saying? As long as you're producing and stimulating the economy. Because when you work, you are stimulating the economy. Say that again. When you work, you are stimulating the economy of the United States of America. We could all take strikes. They will have to comply. What they gonna do? If we take a strike, what are they gonna do? They're gonna have to comply to what we want, because they're gonna be scared of their economy collapsing. You gotta understand how to fight and what to use, because you can't wait till war comes upon you, because once it's upon you, man, it's just like a man walking in the field. Once them dark clouds come and you 2 miles away from home and you ain't got a ride, it's over. You getting rained on, buddy. You getting rained on, buddy, whether you like it or not. You don't want to be like the old man walking on the countryside with the dark clouds forming. We can learn a lot about a storm. You see the clouds, you see the signs. Now you're prepared and you adjust and you move accordingly to where you can get to shelter and get somewhere safe. You don't just sit there and say, oh, I just hope it don't rain. You clearly see the clouds and the signs. It's the same thing with all this stuff that's going on. You just haven't, America is in the perfect position for a race war, martial law, and even anarchy, because you don't believe it can happen. That's your flaw. You don't believe it can happen. When history has showed you in this country many, many perilous and destructive days to the community. We don't have to go through it. This is the same soil. It ain't different soil. You're walking on the soil of slaves that were slaughtered. Slave masters trampled on this same soil and galloped on their horses galloped all through the land that you're on. This is the same land, man. And you probably could find the bones of slaves all throughout the South if you went digging. This is the same land. It's still, and you need to realize it can happen. Something that you could be, the government, the white people apprehended a whole race and put them to slavery. It's some people that think that mentality is a delicacy. They think this is a champion way of thinking. They look at this as a prized perspective. an ideal perspective. And if you look at some of these racist militias, they are the ones that hold these perspectives of slavery, enslaving people, as prize perspective, choice perspective. Times are different when it comes to guns. People have guns everywhere. They got nice assault rifles everywhere. And people are ready to use them. These bloodthirsty people are ready to put them to action. And the white militias are way more armed. These racist white people are way more armed than everyone else. I'm gonna say that again. These racist white people, and they're not all old. You got some young ones. You got some young racist white guns out there. And they are armed. They are more armed than you are. Yes, they are. They know how to shoot guns, and your government is not worried about it. Your government is just like most of the population. They don't think it can happen. They don't think anyone would do anything. They are fools, man. And they're also not looking at it because they feel like white people are gonna do this and that. They're predictable. They feel white people are predictable. Oh, they ain't gonna do nothing. They're just gonna. That's how the authorities think. You don't know that. With them shooting up schools and all kind of other little stuff, and the way they think, you don't know how that's gonna evolve with this next generation. You don't know. You don't know how this young generation is gonna be. You don't know yet because you have not been following them. You don't know what these young white racists are gonna do and how they're thinking and what they're gonna do and what